want to be remembered? And I thought his answer, of course, was just perfect. He goes, I want to be remembered as being a good teammate, respected by all the coaches and my peers. I want everybody to know I love the game of football.
And the Denver Broncos have taken Super Bowl 50.
Dear Broncos and
Hello
no BS.
again, Broncos country.
Welcome to Orange Weekly. No politics, just football.
Are you gonna do that as soon as I bring you on? Not enough from if you can still talk after.
I've been rocking orange since an early age. Now since 9-7, I ain't miss a game. Came up with TD and Rod Smith. I was riding with the team when they got the chip. Before the Chevrolets and the Lobster. I remember Elway's helicopter. I remember. I'm telling you, that man was a monster. Way before he had his hands on the roster. Way before. He turned the Broncos to a powerhouse. So you know I got a shout out to Johnny Elway. He important, man.
Okay, you ready?
The reason that I'm always rocking orange, man. Always gotta rock orange.
And now my mic's off. Nobody heard my joke. I thought I turned my mic on, but I didn't. Okay, so it actually fits perfectly with what my joke was. Okay, guys, my name's Kevin, and welcome to Bourbon Broncos No BS here on Orange Weekly. And I'm glad I have my bourbon because here we were having as many difficulties as the Broncos wide receivers were catching the ball last weekend. So now that we got the joke out of the way, let's go ahead and bring on our guests as usual. Jared and David, how you guys doing tonight?
Oh boy. Better than your jokes, Kev. How are you?
Unfortunately for the listeners, they only had to hear it once. You had to hear it
twice, yeah. And it
See,
it didn't get better from the first time to the second time. Really,
No,
if anything, it went downhill, and it wasn't that great the first time. So,
See, this is why I set it up, because now your jokes for the rest of the night are gonna sound really good and really funny.
that's, you know what? You're a good
team
man.
player,
Thank you for that.
team player.
Yeah, you're a team player.
Always
That's what I do. Okay, guys, grab that bourbon, grab that beer, booze, whiskey, wood, wine. I don't care, but kick back, relax, and ask some questions. We'll break it down for you guys of basically what we thought from this last week's game, everything from Drew Lock, and got some news about, I think it was Kareem Jackson. We also got some Von Miller news. Lots of stuff to talk about tonight. But David, we'll start with you, man. Reactions from this last week's game. Obviously, it was a complete blowout because I called it. We won 2 games, play Kansas City, we get blown out of the water. But what do you think, man?
That stunk. What are you gonna say? It wasn't good. You know, defensively, there were big holes for Kansas City's receivers to run into and run under and run through. And it was not the same pass defense that stifled Deshaun Watson for the most part for 3 quarters last week. And, you know, that's to be expected, even in those conditions with Patrick Mahomes in there, you're going to get dazzled a little bit. And that's just the way it is. Turning to the offense, boy, you wanted to see more, didn't you? I did. I know I did. And everybody in Broncos country did. You know, the conditions were what they were. And, you know, Patrick Mahomes is the kind of guy who in his second full season is prepared to handle those kind of things versus Drew Lock, who's in his 3rd career start, you know, has played in bad weather before, but, you know, this is the NFL at Arrowhead Stadium. And that, quite frankly, is a hard enough environment to play in when you're, you know, when it's nice weather out. That being said, I don't want to make excuses for the kid. You know, he had drops by his receivers, but he also just plain missed on some throws. He showed some bad mechanics, and you can blame a lot of factors for that. But the reality is we saw, you know, it's kind of last week with the Texans, we saw, you know, all of the upside of Drew Lock. And then this week with the Kansas City Chiefs, we saw kind of all of the warts in 1 week. And so I think, you know, the real guy is probably in between those two at this point. So I'm not ready to, you know, cash in my Drew Lock stock just yet and say, sell low, I'm done with this guy. But it's something that you really want to see some improvement in that area this upcoming week against a pretty bad team in Detroit. So, you know, the opportunity is there, but how does he respond is what I look for going forward. How does, you know, good quarterbacks have had bad games as rookies, and bad quarterbacks have had bad games as rookies. The difference is who bounces back and who just keeps having bad games over and over and over again. So which guy is Drew Lock? That's what I want to see as the season comes to a close.
Jared?
For the record, David just took a question about the Kansas City game and turned it all about Drew Lock somehow.
You know.
And
I
fell asleep for about 15 seconds.
I know what Broncos country wants to hear. So you can. I'm going to have a little more bourbon and then listen to your pithy insights. How about that?
Right. And you probably will fall asleep too. I'm going to say very similar things. Like the conditions obviously weren't what we wanted them to be. And not just Drew Lock, but a lot of these guys haven't really played in those conditions. And, you know, we have them in Denver and we have them late in Denver, but we have a really young offensive core. And let's be honest, some of the defensive guys seemed a little slow and seemed like they weren't really playing to win, the kind of playing to not get themselves injured, which I'm a fan of. I do appreciate that they're not trying to get themselves injured, but it definitely kind of showed. And I think that was what the frustrating part of the whole thing was. But the worst part about it, no matter what the conditions is, Andy Reid just seems to have our number. Was this 9 games in a row now? So, and Andy Reid knows what he's doing in there, and that's the biggest takeaway from this is for a while now it's going to be very difficult. And hopefully, Coach Fangio, no one really expected Coach Fangio to come in and win the Super Bowl in his first year here, and I know I didn't.
Some people did.
I was hopeful for something more, but you know we have a lot to look forward to. But and Coach Andy Reid, he's been doing this for a really long time, and he's had our number for the past 4 years, which isn't about 9 games. So. We just have to kind of chalk it up for what it is and move on and just be happy that we came out of there with limited injuries.
Yep. I'll give this to Jared. He managed to answer 1 question instead of 18 questions. That's
right. Yeah,
that was pretty good.
Okay, we got Travis in here. Bless, how you doing? Alfredo, how you doing? Let's see. Philip. Let's see. There's no sound. Yeah. Joey says wide receivers were awful last week. We can talk about that in a second. Makers 46 bourbon of choice. So we are okay. Got some good bourbon drinkers up in here. And so Ryan also says let's get weapons for Lock and have no O line. Just draft tons of wide receivers and tight ends and have them run all around. So what do you think about our receiver core this year? And what do we expect to? What do we need to have going into next year?
I love our receiving core. I think our young receiving core has got a lot to learn, and there's a lot that they have to get through. Let's not forget that some of these balls that are being dropped, Drew Lock is still figuring out how to throw to his receivers. And a lot of that is, if it's negative 70 degrees out there and it's snowing like a blizzard, don't try to rifle it in like a baseball pitch at 90 miles an hour. And that was some of the drops. And obviously Cortland Sutton after the game, and he took it really seriously. He went to Twitter and, talked about how he's a competitor and he takes full responsibility for the drops. But I think it's a lot of just a really young team. I think we have some really young receivers. I love Tim Patrick. I still think he's great. I still think Deshaun Hamilton can really come out from under whatever he's hiding under right now. And obviously Cortland Sutton's going to be there. I would like to pick up a receiver, but I think it's going to be a late round kind of guy, maybe maybe not late, but third or fourth round. We have a lot of picks in this upcoming draft. And obviously this isn't a draft show. We still have a little bit left in the season, but as we get towards the end of the season and see what we have and see what we're going to lose in the off season, then we really get a chance to look at what we may be able to pick up at the wide receiver position. But we have so much more to focus on than the wide receiver position.
And I'm a little bit lower, I think, on stock wise on the wide receiver core than Jared is. Deshaun Hamilton and Tim Patrick, especially Hamilton, I think there is potential there to see him improve and become a different guy than what we've seen so far. Patrick, I don't know. I'm wondering kind of with his limitations in speed, can he really become a dominant physical presence enough? And I just haven't seen it quite yet out of him. I'd like to see him become a little bit more physical, but he's a really young guy too, still. Where I really think our most important draft capital, though, and like Jared says, we have time to talk about this, but O-line has to be where we invest our high draft picks. And I wouldn't mind seeing them pick 2 or 3 guys with the first 4 or 5 picks along that O-line. It's just, we really need not only starters, but depth at that position. And so that's, without getting too far down the draft rabbit hole, receiver would be a great thing to have. And I really, honestly, even if they picked one high, I wouldn't mind if they saw a guy that was like, oh, that's an incredible value here at where we're picking. If they saw another, Cortland Sutton type guy in the 2nd or 3rd round out there, sure, go ahead and grab him. But like Jared said, I think our weapons right now are a little bit better than an emergency need.
Yeah. And to your point, I honestly do think Tim Patrick's better than Deshaun Hamilton. I think he will have a better career than Deshaun Hamilton. And the reason being is because, he's a little bit smaller. He's not as physical, but how often does he get so wide open? His route running is so good. He just knows how to shed a defender and get to the open spots. And I really like that about him. And I think he's got a really high wide receiver and football IQ to be able to become that next possibly Emmanuel Sanders for our team, the smaller guy that just knows how to get open.
Yeah. He just, to me, he doesn't have that kind of quickness, so he's got to get stronger. So we'll see. He's a young guy, isn't he? Was he an undrafted rookie last year?
He was, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
All right. So he's still got some growing to do too.
Yeah. I'm also a little high. I like him a lot also because he's from the San Diego area. So.
Well, that's, makes sense.
So do we plan on Deshaun Hamilton being our 3rd wide receiver next year? Or let's see, Bless says he thinks we need at least 1 seasoned wide receiver. I'm thinking, at this point, Tim Patrick and we have a couple that are going to have about 3 years under their belts now. But how many more chances? How long do we keep Deshaun Hamilton before we say, we got to make room for somebody else who's maybe just a little bit more consistent than he is?
It really depends on what the veteran market is. Like, I don't know. I have no idea what the free agent market at wide receiver is this next year. So when you're talking about getting a guy with more experience, it's like, all right, great, but who's out there?
Right. But what if he even drafts somebody in like the 2nd round, wide receiver 2nd round? Do we try to throw him in there in the wide receiver 3 spot between or behind Cortland Sutton and Tim Patrick, or what would you guys like to see us do with Deshaun Hamilton, basically?
So I like the fact that we need depth.
Mm-hmm.
Do we need a veteran guy? Do we need someone that we need to go out and pay a bunch of money for? No. Right. We have a pretty good cap space in the offseason, and there's a lot of things we can do with it. But like I said at the beginning of this conversation, there's a lot more holes that need to be filled than the wide receiver position. Would I like a little bit more depth? Yeah. I think we have a true number 1, number 2, but I think we want a little bit more depth there. But where we get him, the veteran or the draft. I don't think it really matters as long as we get someone that knows what they're doing.
I mean, my problem is if you go through the draft route there, then you've got to go pretty high in the draft to get a guy who can step in and be an effective day one starter as an NFL wide receiver. He's either going to have to be able to know all the routes and run them on day one, or he's got to have such dominant physical presence that his route running doesn't matter. So that's kind of my argument against drafting a guy and expecting him to step into a big role right away. It's just, unless you're picking somebody really, really high, or you get really, really, really lucky with a lower round draft pick, it's a lot harder to fill those immediate needs in the draft at that position, I think.
There's going to be a lot of changes this offseason, I think. I mean, first off, we're not going to – I just don't see us bringing back Chris Harris Jr. Just like you said, Jared, they were playing to not get hurt, and that's fine. That makes sense for what's going on. But I just think it's clear that Chris Harris Jr. is his time was done with the Broncos, and that sucks because he's been such a huge part of this team. But then again, I know it's not the draft show, but we're trying to look forward, look ahead, and say, okay, where are we going to get some of these pieces from? What pieces do we already have? So, I mean, what's our priority going into this offseason? What do we want to see first off from the team the rest of the year, and then what do we need to go get?
So here's my problem with having that conversation right now is that there's a lot that is left unanswered. There's going to be quite a few free agents. Obviously, we want to pay Justin Simmons as much as he wants to keep him here, because I think he's kind of the heart of our defense right now as far as output goes. And there's a lot of question marks. There's a lot of question marks with the other cornerback in Chris Harris on whether or not we're going to keep him. I know I saw an article today that we probably will keep him, which I would like, but there's people that don't like that idea. And then there's a lot of question marks on our defense that goes to show that if we lose all the guys that are going into free agents and we have the cap space that we do, there's going to be a lot of offseason moves before we even head into the draft.
Yeah.
That's going to completely change the conversation from right now to when we get there. So having that conversation right now might even be benign.
Oh, makes sense.
Yeah. And with Jared, I kind of would like to have Chris Harris back. It seems to me like you can get a guy like that back after the season that he's had, where, last season it may have been about the money. This season that he's put on tape, he might not be getting the kind of money that he wanted last season from anybody. And so I think that's the kind of thing where maybe you let a guy like him test the market, see what his actual market number is worth, and then maybe you do a deal with him at a lower rate because he realizes it's worth it to stay here for this much because I'm not going to get that much more anywhere else. But like Jared said, having that offseason conversation could be a little moot right now. What I really want to see is, and what gives us a lot of clarity in that is just seeing, having as much of an evaluation at the quarterback position as we can, which is really hard to do with 5 games under Drew Lock's belt. It's tough, but that dictates so much of what you're going to do with your offseason. And to a certain point, I think we know there are holes on this team that need to get answered no matter who's the quarterback. Offensive line, defensive backfield, even if you re-sign Chris Harris Jr., defensive line, there's Adam Gotsis is a free agent. Derek Wolfe is a free agent. I think Shelby Harris is a free agent. So there's a lot there that you've got to figure out.
So there's a couple things I want to mention on that. So I just looked it up. So Justin Simmons is an unrestricted free agent. So letting him hit market, he might just be able to sign right off the bat without even having to come back to us to find out if we can match it or not. So that's where the unrestricted free agency comes in. I don't even think we let him. I honestly think we have a conversation with the guy and say, hey, we might franchise tag you because we want you to stay here and we want you to make the money that you want to make. But let's look at the franchise tag as the median of whatever that position is at the time. And I kind of want to get to a couple of these comments because I don't want to ignore them. Joey,
go ahead.
Joey mentioned that Amari Cooper is a free agent. now, obviously, he's been playing with the Cowboys for a while, and he came from the Raiders, but I think he is still a top talent, and I think he would bring depth, and I think we might be able to get him for decently cheap. He's not playing crazy good down there, but he is a high caliber athlete, a high caliber wide receiver. I really like that take, Joey, because I do think with him and Sutton, I think Drew Lock would really have a lot of really good weapons to throw to.
Yeah, but would the Cowboys let him go though?
I think you're kind of overestimating how cheaply we could get Amari Cooper for. I think last season especially,
right,
with what he showed at the end of last season, I think he's going to demand true number one wide receiver money in an offense where we already have a number one wide receiver.
But even then, I would imagine that the Cowboys are going to do whatever they can to keep him.
Are you sure about that? I'm pretty sure he is.
To which part?
I'm talking to Jared. I'm pretty sure he's a number one. He's their number one option down in Dallas.
I thought so.
I don't think it's not Michael Gallup.
I mean,
it's not Michael Gallup.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, the kid from CSU.
Yeah, it's
you
not
gotta love Michael Gallup, man. He is
I'm
now.
not saying I'm not. No. Right. Well, in our eyes, he always will be. But
that's what I'm talking about.
Jason Garrett, who's going to be fired soon, Amari Cooper's their number one wide receiver. He's a guy I think I would love to have as a number two, but I think he's going to cost quite a bit of money.
I don't see the Cowboys let him go because, I mean, first off, I'm not sold. This isn't the Cowboys show, but I don't see Jason Garrett getting fired. I just think that they're that horribly run of a team, and Jerry Jones is going to threaten to fire him, but nothing's going to change if you ask me, and I think they're going to do whatever they can to keep Amari Cooper.
That's probably true. I think they're going to throw money at Amari Cooper. I think they will fire Jason Garrett, but like you said, this isn't the Cowboys show. To me, that's an expensive weapon to try and pursue when you have so many other holes on your team.
Yeah.
And you're going to have young guys that you want to re-sign, like Justin Simmons this year, who, to your point, has been like one of my biggest surprises of this year. I was kind of down on him going into the season. Now you've got to pay him like a market-setting deal just to keep him, but I'm all for it.
Right. And I mean, Juan here says, "Oh yeah, Juan, how you doing? If Amari leaves the Cowboys, he'll try to join a Super Bowl contender." So, I mean, any team out there's going to pay him top dollar. He's basically going to be able to pick where he goes, and that's why I don't think he's going to fit in well. I mean, he's not going to come to Denver for that reason. But yeah, also we have just too many things and too many things to fix. But do you guys think that Drew Lock has earned the at least 2 years to show that he's the guy? And if so, how do we go about building a team around him?
We have this conversation 3 weeks into a game, and we can't even can we just not?
Yep.
Okay, look. Okay.
Well, look, we have to make a decision. Okay, cool. At least going into next year. Is he going to be our starter going into next year? And what is he deserved?
Okay, so here's the other thing is I am not a fan of the immediate reaction type media that a lot of people are.
Right.
A lot of people are on the immediate jump train, immediate Twitter train on blasting Drew Lock for the performance that he put out, which is not great.
Yeah.
And we were talking during the game, guys, and I have my criticisms of things that he does, but I do think that he has a lot of potential and a lot of things that he can work on. And that was kind of a shitty game to try to show it at against a possible Super Bowl contender and in the snow, in all, the worst possible conditions to throw a ball in. We threw it 40 times because we had to. We were down, right? But ultimately, that wasn't a game to look at it. I don't think the game before that, where he had a great game, which I think was really good, but his fundamentals looked like they were from like middle school or high school. And then the game before that, same concept, right? He was a game manager, still trying to get into it. We just have not seen what Drew Lock can really unfurl. And I think the rest of the season is going to show that. I think that conversation again is another one that we need to have towards the end of the season. He gets a little bit more reps. He gets a little bit more
towards the end of the season. That's why I asked.
As he gets I don't want another quarterback controversy.
Exactly.
I'm so done with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say, we could just have Joe Flacco start again. I know you'd love that, Jared.
Yeah.
Bro.
Jared. Oh,
I'm leaving. This is done. I'm done.
You guys didn't know, Jared is a huge Joe Flacco fan.
Oh man! Oh, I can't let
can
you
still
say
hear
these
you.
things. I can't let you say these things. I was going to defend you, Jared. I promise, I was. But man, I mean, like Jared said, you can't do a total evaluation like that. But
No.
you've got to at least go into next season preparing for him to be the starter, if for no other reason than it's just like Jared. There's no quarterback controversy. Let's just have the guy that we have. Go with him the entire offseason with the same offensive coordinator and the same guys around him at skill positions and see what you get next year.
Exactly.
That's what he's earned to me. And if it sinks like the Titanic next year, then you've got to start over again. And that's the conversation that you have to have at that point. But until then, let's close out the last 2 weeks strong against a couple of defenses that you can hopefully have decent showings against if you're Drew Lock, and go from there.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, the only reason I bring it up is because it is at the end of the season. Look, if this was the first 3 games in the season, there'd be no need to talk about that. But I think we're all sick of that quarterback battle. We're all sick of that turnover every year. Who's going to be our quarterback?
Right.
And we need continuity, both on the coaching front, on the quarterback front. Now the rest of the players, I think there's gonna be a lot of turnover there, but we need continuity at the heart of the team.
Yeah, and I like what Erica, I assume, a backwards name on the Facebook. Anyways, Erica Stewart. Anyways, whatever her name is, she mentioned that we need to build around Drew Lock like the Ravens built around Lamar Jackson. Yeah. Now, I'm very judgmental on quarterbacks, as you guys may have found out. But I do think that building around a quarterback is the right way to go and build around his strengths. He could be the future, at least for the next 5 to 6 years. And if we build around him, it really sets us into the forward motion, because as you guys have noticed since Peyton Manning left, we haven't had anybody to build around, and we're just kind of building this kind of hodgepodge group of island of misfit toys. You guys like the Christmas reference for the island of misfit toys of players that we end up having, and it's just not turning out. It's not turning out to be what we need and what we want as Broncos country for the first 3 losing seasons since the 70s.
So has John Elway gotten over the win now mentality? And is he actually going to spend time, a year, maybe 2 years, to build a team? Or is he just going to go and say, cool, we have a quarterback. Let's use this money we have in the offseason to grab a couple big names, and that should hold us over into the playoffs.
See, and I hope, because the thing is, you've gone from, with a rookie head coach and the quarterback play that we've had this season, and you still won 5 games in a league where it's not that easy to win games. It's hard to go totally winless in a season, but it's not that hard to go 3-13 in this league if you're really bad. And so to me, you've got pieces there. You've got a foundation of your team. You've just got to keep building it. And I hope John Elway realizes that. I hope he doesn't look at this team and see a team that's 2 or 3 pieces away from a playoff run. I hope he sees a team that's 2 or 3 pieces away from being a serious contender to win a game each and every week. Not a team that's going to go win seasons every year, but a team that's a threat to every team in the league any given Sunday. That's what we're a couple pieces away from being that team right now.
Yeah.
Become that team before you try to be something more.
Jared, any thoughts?
I agree. I think that the whole concept of win now went out the window at the beginning of the season. And I like John Elway. I've never been on the get rid of John Elway bandwagon. No. Obviously, he had a couple bad drafts that has led us to this point. But those bad drafts happened 3 to 4 years ago. And the last couple drafts have been pretty decent. I think he's been doing a better job. He's learning from his mistakes, and we're kind of becoming better for it. And that's why we're starting to see the young guys starting to excel. But I think one of the biggest mistakes he made, and shocker for everybody, was this past offseason in grabbing Flacco. And I think that win now mentality, he went out to go get this guy who was like, oh, he was a Super Bowl winner. Luckily, let's be honest. He had a great defense, and that's basically what got him through that Super Bowl. But regardless, I think he's over that mentality. The fact that we have the salary cap that we do this year shows that. And I think what we have this year to going into this season, not only with the young guys we have on offense, the already decently stout backers a little bit later, but what we have going forward, going into next year, should make Broncos country pretty excited to go in, and not excited with the hype that, the Cleveland Browns have, but excited in the fact that our young guys are being homegrown and we're not trying to pull these guys out from somewhere else.
Yep.
I agree. Now, speaking of being excited, there is a lot to be excited about this next year, but obviously I think Travis asked about it a little bit ago. Two names that obviously on the O-line are probably some big ones we need to talk about. First off, Juwan James was, I believe, a healthy scratch. I did not hear any updates on any injuries or anything, why he didn't play, other than I'm assuming he wasn't mentally ready. And so, I mean, we saw Wilkinson out there, and he was trying his best, but it was very clear that he was not able to hold up against the pressure on that side. So what are we doing paying Juwan James? And are we going to let him come back next year? Because I'm fed up with this crap, to be honest with you.
Well, he's coming back next year. I mean, we signed him to a very long-term deal, and if you cut him, there's an insane amount of dead money that goes along with just cutting him. So that's not going to happen. Forget that. If that was what you were hoping for, Broncos country, put it out of your mind right now, because it's not going to happen.
So, I mean, what do we do with that, though? You have a guy here who's not mentally ready to play. Basically, okay, cool, I signed a contract for a long period of time for a ton of money. I'm just going to, And I get it. I know we talked about this on a podcast a couple weeks ago. I get it. When you're injured and it really messes with you, you're worried about re-injuring it again. But I've never heard of a player not playing because he just wasn't mentally ready to play, especially when they're getting paid that much money.
Before you go further, Kevin, he wasn't a healthy scratch. He was on the injury with a knee injury, so he was on that injury report.
I missed that.
And that one time that he was not mentally ready, I think, and I've talked to you guys about this before, and we can talk to Jason, who's our resident injury expert here, and being our athletic trainer. But coming back from an injury at the pro level. And I get that he's getting paid $51 million. Coming back from an injury and the fear of getting injured again is really a psychological issue.
Sure. Yeah.
And I know that we could sit back here and sit in our armchairs drinking our bourbon and say, like, oh, screw that guy, he's getting paid $51 million. But, like, getting injured in general, no matter where you are, is a very difficult thing to go through. And then being mentally ready to go out there, that might be a thing. And I know we want to sit back here and, like, hope that he plays because we paid him so much money. And he is an elite right tackle in the league. And I think David's right. We're going to obviously keep him. We paid him $51, way too much dead money. Get him an off season to get him with some people that are professionals at this. While these professionals are making a lot of money, the professionals that help these professionals are making a lot of money as well. And I think we get those people in here to help him out, and he's going to come back and be one of our most dominant right tackles. Now we have a dominant left tackle and a dominant right tackle. Now we just got to shore up the rest.
So, I think where I'm coming from is if he gets injured again, and God, I hope not, for not just, the Broncos' sake, but for his own sake as well. But is this going to be a pattern with him? I just, I don't want to assume and say that's going to be the case, but it has me worried, to be sure. And to transfer what you said, are we deciding that Garrett Bowles is dominant on the left side? Are we okay with him now?
Yeah, I was just
no.
Where did that come from? Dominant left.
Oh, sorry. Did I say tackle? I meant
you
guard.
said just dominant left
guard.
side. So
left guard. So Dalton Reisner is our guy.
Sure,
yeah.
So I didn't mean tackle. My B.
Okay.
That's why I was like, wait a second.
That was the one thing that you said where I was like, what the hell is he talking about? The rest of it, I actually thought was really, really smart. But that part, I was like, wait a minute. Did you just, that dumb thing you said just wiped out all the really smart things that you said? Because what? It's just, to me, like, you just kind of hope for the best. At this point, you can't really say, oh, well, what if he gets injured again? Because, sometimes that's going to happen in the NFL. And with the Broncos' history of free agents, it may seem more likely than not. But you've just, like I said, you kind of got to just hope, like Jared said, they get him with the right guys, they get his mind right, and he's able to come out next year and play 16 games at a high level. One thing that kind of gets me a little bit when we have these conversations is, especially when you have the conversation about how much money a guy's earning, and I get it. You want him to be out there, and it's a dollar amount that you can say, this is a level we can identify, but at the same time, it's not your money.
Right.
Like, all right, I get it. He's getting paid a lot of money, but it's not my money. So, I get less.
Have you gone to any
concerned about
games?
that. What's that?
Have you gone to any games?
No, I haven't.
Oh, so then yeah, it's not your money.
No, it's not my money. So, and
No, I'm not. I was just poking fun. I'm not.
Sure, no.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and so it's like, I get it. You want him to be producing at a high level because he's earning a high dollar amount, and you want him to be producing at a high level because that makes your team better. But I worry less about his money and more about whether we can actually get him on the field and producing at some point.
Yeah, and I think that's what we're gonna have to wait and find out during this offseason for sure. I do like I said. Look, I am the couch quarterback, the couch coach.
Well,
I get it.
That's what we're doing here.
That's technically what we're doing right now.
Right, exactly. And I'm saying I've never played. I've never been injured to that degree and had to go back out there. It's one of those things that
Yeah, you want to see him. I get it. It's frustrating because
it is with everything else going on. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's it. You got to kind of put it in that context. Everything is a little frustrating right now. Everything in that Chiefs game was frustrating. The quarterback play was frustrating, but it was equally frustrating to watch the defense just have huge holes that they were giving up 25, 20-yard chunk plays consistently on every single drive. It was just a lot of stuff going wrong last week. And when you lose 23-3, that's how it's going to look.
Yep.
So this is a good transition too, because Von Miller was pretty vocal last couple of days in his press conferences about 3 to 4 years really has been. And is that something like it's obviously affecting the locker room. You can't sit here and say, obviously these guys being professionals, they're not listening to the media. They're not listening. Like they're listening. They have to be.
Right.
I think that's something to be kind of worried about. Like that Von Miller already is kind of like, now I'm not quoting, I'm kind of paraphrasing here, but he was like, you change coaches, you change quarterbacks, you change a couple of defensive schemes, and you still have a losing season after 3 years. Like what can we do? Like we've tried everything.
Yeah. And I think go ahead.
Is that the mentality of all Broncos country, or is that something that he's just kind of like, I want to help, but I don't know what to do?
That, I think, more than anything. And to me, when I see Von Miller make those kind of comments, to me, that confirms that Von Miller is the kind of player that you want on your team.
Yeah.
Because he's a guy, like, you see it when he's with his teammates. Even when he was out last week against the Texans, when Drew Lock was carving it up, it wasn't just the post-game comments that I saw from him. It was him rushing down the field with an injured knee to congratulate his rookie quarterback and his teammates when they were scoring touchdowns on the Texans.
Right.
Like that's a kind. It tells me that the guys in the locker room are still there for each other and playing for each other. And I still think, to a certain point, they probably still buy into this new coaching staff. I really don't. I think the friction with the coaching staff and all of that has been really overblown. But I think they're trying to send a message to the general manager and, not just the general manager, but everybody on the higher levels of the team to just say, we've got to, we want to go out there and play every single Sunday. But every year that this goes on, it gets a little bit harder to go out every Sunday and just kind of not feel like you're going to be on the winning side of things. We've just, and like we talked about earlier, we're maybe not that far away from being a team that can compete every single week, but the guys who have been here for a long time, it's got to be really, really tough for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the way, and just to piggy off that, it was kind of just a question to see what people had to say.
Yeah.
But I agree. I think that is someone that's as frustrated as the fans, because the fans have so much invested in this team that he's also just as frustrated as the fans.
Yeah.
It really shows that he wants to make this team better and he doesn't know what to do. And he's kind of at a loss for words. And the fact that he's vocal about it, like everyone's like, oh, he wants to leave us. He wants to go to another Super Bowl. I think the opposite. I think he's ready to make this team what it can be. And he just doesn't know what to do and he needs guidance.
Yeah.
And that's any level of professionalism and any level of life, you always need that next guidance to be able to guide you through that next level. And I don't think he knows who to turn to.
Well,
those are coming from.
Well, when you're the leader of the team, you're supposed to, I think we all look at Von Miller and say, you are the one that we perceive as being the voice of the team. And yeah, when he's saying those kinds of things,
that's why.
Yeah,
huh?
He's the face of this team.
He is, and it's
Yeah.
because Von Miller's never been a really, really vocal guy in that locker room. Like if you go back and read his own interviews, he'll say he's not the loudest guy in the room, and he tries to lead in different ways. That's not his style. So it's really interesting to kind of see him, be elected team captain year in and year out, but to have him kind of have that different style of leadership.
Yeah. Victor's in here. How you doing? I want to move this a little bit. We haven't talked about him yet. Joey does say Bowles has 4 to 5 games. The last 4 to 5 games has actually been playing pretty good. He was our best player on the O-line by far. So, I still kind of attribute that to Drew Lock can move around and kind of alleviate some of the pressure on the offensive line. But again, is Garrett Bowles the answer on that left tackle side?
I think a lot of this is giving it up to Mike Munchak for actually stepping up and becoming
I agree.
The coach that we wanted to put out.
Yeah.
That's what I really think. And I think that Mike Munchak is starting to do a good job with him. And I'm not saying that he's going to be terrible. I think he has, you're right, the last couple of days. And we talked about Reisner being the future for the left guard. He had a super bad game a couple weeks ago. I don't remember who it was against. But I remember watching him be like, oh, come on, man. I'm really pulling for you. Like, I really want you to do this. But Mike Munchak is really, as sports fans, as entertainment fans, we want that immediate satisfaction that we've been wanting for years. And I'm not going to sit here and say I wasn't on that bandwagon of wanting that immediate satisfaction of a playoff caliber team this year. But
sure, we all were.
Yeah, I think now we're sitting at the point where we can see, the progress that we're making and the progress that our team is making, the progress that our young coaching staff, our young offense, and our experienced defense is starting to make as we move forward. Unfortunately, we're already out of the playoffs and there's nothing more we could do about it. But going into next season, it really gives us a lot of hope. So I think it's more towards Mike Munchak and Garrett Bowles working together than it is towards anything else.
Look, getting consistency on this team, I think, is probably, in my opinion, like the foundational issue that we're having. And I think Von Miller alluded to it. You're trying things every year. First off, we've tried everything. It's still not working. But we've got to get continuity. We have to build a strong foundation for this team. And I think once we see that for 1-2 years and these guys really start gelling, working together, forming those relationships with the coaching staff, I think that's when you're really going to see these guys really elevate themselves to a completely different level.
Yeah, it's continuity in an off season is going to tell so much for everybody, for Garrett Bowles, for the young players on the offensive line, for the young wide receivers, a lot of things. And I'm really, really glad that we are going to have that this season with a coaching staff that seems to know how to keep things improving as they go along instead of because we've seen the offensive game planning come together. We saw the defense transform a little bit from its early season to where we are now. I just want to see if those changes can take another step with an off season. I'm really hopeful that they can, but it's gonna show us a lot about this coaching staff, how this team comes out and looks next year.
Yeah.
Going to a question. Sorry, I'm like looking up some stats here for Erica. I assume Treadwell from Minnesota is a free agent. Unrestricted free agent coming into this season. He's not a top wide receiver.
No.
And he is definitely some talent, though.
Yeah.
You're not a fan, David. I see your face. I see the face.
He's a guy.
You're giving this sour, like you just hit a warhead face.
See, and I love warheads. So, maybe that actually would turn out really well for us. But to me, like Treadwell's a guy who had all of this first round hype and this big pedigree, and he came in and has done absolutely nothing in Minnesota in his career. And you can talk about quarterback play, you can talk about this, that, and the other thing, but Adam Thielen became a star, and an undrafted rookie became a star in Minnesota, and it didn't matter who was throwing the ball to him.
Well, in his defense, though, Adam Thielen, and in the same concept as the Patriots quarterback in the Patriots system, that they're very heavy on the slot receiver, and Adam Thielen is a slot receiver, while Treadwell is an outside guy. So,
and to me, he's a guy whose talent has never matched the production. Even and you may be right. Scheme may have had something to do with it, but even then, he's a guy whose talent in a scheme that's not designed to feature him would still make him look. His talent alone should have been enough to make him look better than he has been, I think.
I agree.
So it's, with the wide receiver coach that we have and, the job he's done with Cortland Sutton in the last year, maybe that's a guy you buy low on and take a risk. But I would not be, I would not be in favor of, giving him any kind of big time contract for sure.
No, I think so.
Okay, Kevin.
Yeah.
We've stolen the show. We need to move on. We got a lot of things to talk about. And
We do.
we've
What you
talked
got?
about a lot of nothing right now. So we need to talk about the 2020 Pro Bowl and how gypped the freaking Denver Broncos are. I'm censoring myself for the families out there.
I don't think there's families watching right now, but yeah, okay.
Gypped hard in the ball sack. No, that's not censoring.
What is happening right now?
Yeah,
literally what is happening right now.
So here's the thing. So linebacker Von Miller obviously got voted in, and I think this is at least a popularity contest because he's not having the greatest season, and I don't think he's the best outside linebacker.
But everybody knows
Von
Von Miller,
best pass rusher in this league. But Justin Simmons.
Yep.
How do you Alexander Johnson, who's been playing very well linebacker. I wasn't expecting him to make it as a middle linebacker with all these guys that are captains and playing at high levels for other teams that are winning, and I get that. But Justin Simmons has been playing at such a high level, and publicly, it's been shown that he's playing as one of the top safeties in the league, and he doesn't get into the Pro Bowl.
Week in and week out. Yep.
You know what it is? And it's because, right or wrong, fair or unfair, this is Justin Simmons' first year at playing at a really high level, like at a Pro Bowl level.
It was Philip Lindsay's first year last year too.
Yeah, but Philip Lindsay had hype because he was an undrafted free agent who broke 1,000 yards. So he had that hype going for him. Justin Simmons has been in the league for a few years, a guy who until this year had never really kind of lived up to what people thought he was going to turn into. Now it's his first year that he's really playing at that level, but he doesn't have the name like Derwin James does, Jamal Adams does. He doesn't have that kind of pedigree and hype already. So he's not going to get in on his first year of being good. It's just, it's wrong. But that's the way it is.
I understand what you're saying. It makes sense, but that doesn't mean that it's right. And it is a popular contest. It's name recognition, and I get it.
Yeah, and honestly, we can be happy that he doesn't even have to risk injury in a game where nobody tries because they're all trying to avoid injury. But sometimes accidents happen. So at least we don't have to worry about him tearing an ACL on a stupid play in a Pro Bowl.
Right. That's true.
Yeah. Jared's really upset. Let's let Jared talk.
I'm mad. I'm really mad. I looked at it, and obviously Jamal Adams is a strong safety that is starting for the AFC. Yeah. But as a free safety, Earl Thomas got in for the Baltimore Ravens, who
it's name recognition. Right, it's name recognition again.
Name recognition for a winning team that the defense has done not what they need to do. It's more the offense is doing what they need to do.
Right.
But the hype around the Ravens defense is, they have a really good defense. It doesn't matter if they actually have a really good defense.
But that's what people are saying.
Defense,
I can't do it, man. I can't.
Jared, the people who vote for the Pro Bowl don't actually generally watch football.
No.
You know this.
Yeah. Oh, I've heard Von Miller's name before. Yeah, sure. Reisner, who's that? Simmons? I have no idea who that is. Yeah.
Battle.
Oh, God.
It was like retweet the Twitter thing. Like, if you retweet, it's a vote for the Pro Bowl. Did you guys see that? I retweeted Justin Simmons and Cortland Sutton and a couple people there. But,
I just retweet everything I see.
All popularity. This is homecoming all over again.
Oh yeah, because you did really badly at homecoming, Jared. Tell me about how badly homecoming went for you. All right.
Yes,
Jared's
tell everybody, Jared.
Yeah, while the unpopular kids from high school reminisce about the fact that I didn't even go to homecoming because there was no point. All right, we have gotten so off track.
So, okay, guys.
We're so far off at this point.
Now, before we talk about the Lions, Victor does ask a question about the culture. And he says, do you think the culture change of coaches since Super Bowl 50 have anything to do with Von's frustration? So what do you guys perceive the culture to be? And do you think we're actually, let's face it, since Super Bowl 50, I think the culture has, gone through a lot of hard times with Vance Joseph and everything. But what Do you see any improvements on the culture this year? And I guess, do you believe that there's going to be that change into this offseason?
It's with the players as young as they are, especially on offense. The culture right now to me is a little bit up in the air. We had such a defensively dominant team where not only the defense was dominant, but your big personalities were all on defense. Your TJ Wards and Aqib Talibs and guys like that who are now goners and have been gone for a long time. And so you've had guys like Chris Harris and Von Miller trying to set the tone. But like we kind of talked about earlier, both of those guys are less vocal and more put it on the field type leaders. So it's going to be that's one of the questions I'm kind of looking forward to answering in this offseason is, what does this young offense become? We've got some lightning playmakers on offense and some guys who could really step into big shoes around the league and be really big household names in the next decade, if they can put that kind of thing together. So can they build that identity, not just as players, but as a group of guys, is really what I'll be looking forward to seeing from that culture aspect this offseason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Victor has a point. I honestly, and I don't think it is the reason for Von Miller's comments. Obviously, we talked about the reason for it being that, he bleeds orange and blue. He wants this team to do well, and he's had a loss. And obviously the coaching changes are part of that. Every year that you have a coaching change, you have to buy in. You don't have an option as a player to buy in or not buy in to a coaching change. You have to buy in because you have to believe that your team is going to be the best in the league. Yeah. And when you're playing against 31 other teams that are also the best of the best at their positions, the best of who they are, sometimes it doesn't play out. And sometimes it comes down to coaching. And we've had a lot of coaching changes. And let's be honest, even after the Peyton Manning era, Kubiak did not have a great year the year after Peyton left.
Right.
He retired, and that year we didn't make the playoffs. We lost it in the game before the last game of the season when we played Kansas City. Kansas City beat us to knock us out of the playoffs when we played Oakland in the final game of the season, which was his final game as head coach. But the changing of coaching staffs has a lot to do with it. I agree with him. I do, because the fact that you've just tried so hard. You've got rid of the head. You've got rid of the legs. You've got rid of the arms. You got new arms, new legs, and you're a new robot, and you still can't figure this out. It's frustrating. It really is. And I think the coaching staff has a little bit to do with it. But I think buying into this year, because, I think I'm 100% certain Fangio came in there and was like, this is our year. You need to buy into my system. And while everybody else was like, yeah, I'm buying into your system, let's do it, this is our year, I honestly think it's just going to take a little while for everybody to actually physically buy into the system and build ourselves around something that's strong, as opposed to building off of something that we've had for the past 3 years.
Right. It takes time. Bottom line, it takes time. And it doesn't matter what he went in and said. I think everyone had the recognition of, hey, this is a very young team on, in terms of experience and the coaches and the ages and the experience of the players. I mean, it does suck because you have 2 years of Vance Joseph, those 2 years of losing seasons, and essentially we're starting from scratch, and everyone's been sitting through it for, these 3 years now, and it's like, well, more of the same. But I really think that this is the staff we have, the players we have, we can add some depth through draft and free agency and bring in the right kind of talent for what we're trying to do right now, which is build a team over time. That's going to put us in the position we need to be able to win these games week in and week out more often than not. And that is also going to foster that, once you start seeing yourself win a couple games and win them well, it's easier for people to be really rally behind that, and it doesn't matter how great of a team you have if you keep losing. But once you start winning, along with just the trust you have in the coaching staff, and coaching staff has in the players, then that culture really starts to blossom.
And one more thing as we close out the Von Miller conversation, and I don't want to, psychoanalyze a guy I've never met, but to me, it feels a little bit like these comments and this season have been, frustration from a guy who is not as effective as he has been in the past, and who maybe feels like certain coaching staffs wasted years of his prime. because at this point, I think he knows that he is maybe not in his prime anymore as far as his career is going. Maybe he's just entering the back end of his career or about to, and he's a little frustrated that he spent, years with a coaching staff that couldn't help him be the best player on the field that he wanted to be.
Yeah. No, I agree. It sucks.
All right.
But
yeah.
we do have some stuff to look forward to. So, Jared, what are you looking for? And not to, we're going to do the pregame podcast here soon, so nothing in depth, obviously. But what are you looking forward to in this week's game and then the last game against the Raiders? What would you like to see happen with the Broncos? Other than win.
Progress. I want to see progress. I mean, and that's all at this point in the season, at this point in our year, that's all that we can really ask for. And I think that progress is what we need to look for, and not progress as a team. Obviously, progress like winning the game is obviously going to show progress, right? But I think progress in certain positions. Obviously, we talked about Garrett Bowles earlier this year, earlier in the episode, but I want to see Garrett Bowles make some progress. I want to see him make some good blocks. And there's a couple times we've seen the flashes of good from Garrett Bowles, double teaming people with two arms. We've seen it. It happens. We need to see that consistently, and I want to see that. I want to see the progress in, and we're going to mention it. We're going to probably get into this now, but Drew Lock. I want to see the progress in Drew Lock. I want to see that his fundamentals have gotten better. I want to see him not throw off his back foot as accurate as he was in his back foot a couple times. I want to see him make consistently accurate throws and not get bailed out by his receivers or throw into the ground as much as he did in the past couple of games. And I want to see the consistency of the defense. I want to see Juwan James. I want to see him actually show up. Alexander Johnson. I want to see Alexander Johnson. I want to see him play at a high level. I want to see Todd Davis play at a high level. And something that we haven't mentioned on this episode that I kind of did want to mention is the backlash that Todd Davis has been getting about covering Todd Kelsey in that game. Travis Kelsey.
Nobody covered Travis Kelsey in that game. Give me a break.
Nobody can, and not only that, but you also have to remember, he was manned up on him maybe 4 or 5 times during the 4 or 5 receptions, but he is an elite tight end, and he's in the conversation for being one of the best tight ends in the league, and in the last 100 years, he's been in one of those conversations. So we have to remember that, and B, we also have to remember that we were playing zone because of the footing that we had in that game, because the lack of footing, I should say, that we had in that game. We were played zone a lot of times because it's really hard to make cuts. And Todd Kelsey was making those cuts because he's a big guy. He could get his feet under me. He had a great center of gravity, and he understood where he needed to be at the right time.
Yep.
A combination, it kind of all just ended up being a perfect storm, pardon my pun, on that whole conversation. But it ended up being a perfect storm where he was going to be the guy that was going to get majority of the balls because it was an easier throw. It was over the middle, and we were playing a zone defense. And again, Andy Reid just picked that apart like it was nobody's business.
Yep.
Yeah, I know I changed the subject on you like David did earlier. And I made fun of
it. Right. No,
it flowed well.
And that's it. And I'm not going to answer the question about Drew Lock because, earlier, when I was answering the 18 questions, I already answered that question.
There you go.
So
right. You got the first monologue.
Yeah, so I'm not going to go that much further into it. One thing I'm really looking forward for the rest of the season, not just this next game necessarily, is to see if anybody else can step up in the defensive secondary. If any of the young guys, Isaac Yadam has not had awful games in the past couple,
but not great.
We have seen.
Not even close to great.
Not great, but not total liability games like he was earlier in the season. Yeah, he got picked on a little bit by Kelsey, but at least when he was allowing catches to Kelsey, he was with him. He was in his back pocket. He was just getting boxed the hell out because he's not that big a guy, frame-wise. So, can anybody back there, whether it's him or Devontae Harris or Duke Dawson, really step up in these last 2 games and put something on film that shows us we've got a real piece going into next season in the defensive backfield. This is a young guy who we can really coach up and expect to contribute at a high level next year.
So I'll say this. I'm a big fan of Devontae Harris, and I was actually surprised that Yadam was in and starting over Devontae Harris in that game. And again, I'm not a defensive coordinator. I'm not a head coach of the NFL. So what they saw what they saw, maybe the matchup, maybe the type of matchup they were looking at.
And Harris
or
hasn't
maybe
played
the
in a
practice.
couple weeks. It's been a couple weeks since we've seen Harris out there. So
Yeah,
you know,
and he was playing at a high level, so I'm really confused why he's not out there more often, other than that diamond nickel packages. But that's I'm gonna have to look into that.
I think it was the Vikings game. I think it was the second half of that Vikings game that just made him look so terrible. Now, I didn't watch that game, but that, to me, reading afterwards, the reactions were, oh man, Devontae Harris got wrecked. And, you know, everybody in the defensive backfield got wrecked. But, you know, you can't bench Chris Harris Jr. So.
You should go watch that game, David.
Yeah.
Just go watch it in its entirety. Feel the pain that we feel.
I was traveling that day, and it was really, really nice to get onto a plane at 24-0, you know, being up, and then really, really Broncos like to get off the plane and have them be up by a field goal, and the Vikings in scoring range.
Yeah.
So I did see that game, and I didn't, and now we're backtracking, so we can move on after this comment. But I didn't see it. I do think that Devontae Harris is probably the better look at corner than Isaac Gadman, but. Yeah. That's me, and we're paying him less. So if we got rid of Isaac Gadman, I wouldn't be like crying or anything.
No,
I mean,
Devontae Harris. Right. Anyway, moving on. What's next?
What's next, Kev?
Yeah, I know, man. I think it's. Oh, Travis says it's sad we're not making the playoffs again. Let's see. Oh, Joey says we should get my favorite Antonio Brown. I guess I didn't know he was my favorite.
No, you know what we haven't talked about?
What, Jared?
Kareem Jackson.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah.
You're
That's
right.
Tough. Yeah.
So if you guys haven't heard, Kareem Jackson is going to be suspended for the next 2 games, and it's because of a DUI he got in September. And here's what I like about this story. I hate the fact that we are losing Kareem Jackson for 2 years, but what I like is that he didn't fight it. He was like, you know what? I'm going to own up to this. I'm going to say, you know what? Yeah, I was drinking and driving. That's my fault. He told the Broncos immediately after getting it. He called them and let them know. And they've been tracking this the whole time. They kind of were expecting this eventually.
Right.
But this kind of moves into another conversation where is the NFL suspensions equal across the board?
No. Are you kidding me? No.
But wow. I mean,
no.
Do you want to go for another hour on this show? Because Jesus,
that's a simple answer.
Saying, wow. I think 2 games for a DUI is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. Versus you have people who are beating their wives and stuff or girlfriends out there, and what do they get?
All right, we could go for so long.
We could. Also, essentially, the whole system is completely jacked.
But this is all politics, and I feel like
right. You're like
it is
what our show stands for.
You're getting real close there, Jared.
No, we can talk about the NFL system that is the suspensions. The suspension system. It's not too political.
It's something that I'm going to pivot away from the politics aspect and say, as we go into the CBA and the negotiations for the CBA upcoming, it's something that I think we're all going to have to monitor because it's going to be a big sticking point between the league and the NFLPA.
Yep,
absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And that's not this year, but the year after.
With Jackson, we talked about what we're going to be missing for this next game is. I don't even know who's Jackson's backup right now.
Will Parks probably.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, who's not, as far as backups go, not a terrible player. He's a guy who can make plays for you, but
you're right.
It's just a kind of another oh man, how many more shoes are going to drop before this season ends? Can we just there's a certain aspect of it. As much as you're going to miss football in the off season, it's like. Can we not have any more things? Can we get to the off season without having any more things?
Right. Yeah, and just injuries and suspensions and we're just
every
crap.
little thing. Every little thing that is just it piles up.
The crap that goes along with being a bad team at this point,
Right.
Yeah.
It hurts. That's what
it hurts, but we went over it last week, and the reasons to watch that we talked about last week are all still there. I think.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, again, I'm of a mentality that I'd rather watch bad football than no football. So you know.
And no
but
football's coming real soon.
Exactly.
No football is going to be here before you fucking know it. So
exactly.
enjoy the bad football while you have it.
Okay, guys. Closing thoughts. Anything you guys want to talk about around the horn? Jared, start with you.
Sorry, I wasn't ready for that.
I did that on purpose.
I'm just gonna.
I'd like to talk about
hold
the
on.
importance of being ready for questions when they are asked. It makes you look more professional in a media type setting.
Take this for professional.
There you go. I like it.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got nothing to counter that. So
Right.
yeah, point for Jared.
Final thoughts. I think that the Denver Bronco community is starting to overreact a little bit more than we're used to. I think that the Broncos country is starting to overreact a little bit more on social media than we need to, because we knew going into this season that we're going to be young. We're going to have a new coaching staff, brand new coaching staff from top to bottom. We are going to have a brand new offensive core, right? We have Philip Lindsay, who came back, Cortland Sutton, who came back, but for the most part, that's their second year. We have new quarterbacks coming in. We all knew, right? We all knew Joe Flacco was going to fail. But now what we get to do is we get to look forward to what's going to happen next. And I think that right now, with the way that Drew Lock is playing, the way Drew Lock is showing the emotion that we want him to, I think he might be the quarterback of the future. And we can't really jump on that right now, obviously. And a lot of this is going to have to wait for the offseason. So a lot of the talks, a lot of the things that you're going to read on certain reports that I'm not going to mention.
Radio stations that we don't have to talk
radio
about.
Stations that I'm not going to mention is going to be all clickbait. And I think that a lot of it's going to be to try to get you angry or to try to get you excited for something that we really don't know anything about yet. And I think that
stay away from radio stations that rhyme with the flan. You know,
curb the enthusiasm, curb the expectations that you have for this team this year, and just look forward to what we might have next year with a returning coaching staff, hopefully returning quarterback, a returning great offense, and a returning good defense. And I think that next year is going to turn out a lot different than this year, but we have to understand the reality that we're in right now. We're in a rebuilding phase, and because of the drafts that happened 4 or 5 years ago, we're going to have to take a little while till we're back to the form that we're used to in Broncos country.
Yep.
Yeah. Be happy for things. That's my final thought. Be happy for the things that we have. And
how drunk are you?
Not as drunk as I could be, but drunker than I was when we started the show. Now,
that's what happens when you drink. That's
it. Yeah. Be happy that Bradley Chubb's coming back next year, because that's going to be awesome. Be happy that Alexander Johnson has emerged as an absolute force at middle linebacker, inside linebacker. Be happy that Cortland Sutton has become a star and will continue to be a star in this league for hopefully a really long time. And be happy that Noah Fant's not a bust, because gosh darn it, he's not a bust. I'm sorry. You know, he didn't get a 1,000-yard season, and those are impossible expectations for any rookie tight end to live up to. But gosh darn it, he's not a bust. He really turned into a player that made electric things happen with the ball in his hands down these last few games. And even if we don't see him out there, you know, if they decide not to aggravate any of his several injuries at this point and not put him out there for the rest of the season, be excited that he's going to come back next year and be something really, really special for this team.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot rolling into this holiday season to look at this team and be grateful for. So just, you know, slow your roll. Be happy.
No, agreed. I mean, think about the injuries we have alone on this team, and just the experience these guys are going to get over the offseason, plus bringing back these injured players that we've been missing. There is a lot to look forward to. And it's going to be a fun offseason to watch. And I think, especially if Elway has the right mentality like we were talking about earlier. But you know what?
Kevin, I forgot one thing.
Oh, yeah?
Of course you did.
Be happy that you have us. Because my goodness.
I like it.
Who on earth is going to come back to you week after week, win, lose, or draw?
There's no I don't know, black and silver weekly. There's no like red and yellow weekly.
And if there were, nobody would watch them, because good Lord.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, and we decided that we're your comic relief, and I hope that we live up to the expectations of the comic relief of the questions you were asking.
I mean, Jared, with that sweater, I honestly, if that's not doing it for the viewers,
It's so bright. It's so bright. I'm not wearing the sunglasses for show. I can't see without them.
That's what I figured. I'm just glad you admitted it.
Yeah, it draws the eye. It draws the eye.
You must like light up the street as you walk down. Like people, I don't know.
I draw attention.
He lights up my life. We have to wrap up this show.
Wow.
We do.
Yeah.
We do. Just like wrap up the Christmas presents that we have to get ready for or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, Kevin.
If anything, it makes you guys laugh.
I just don't know what to do. I don't.
Again, it makes all your jokes look so much better.
Hold on. Oh, hey, Kev, can I take a shot at this?
Yeah.
I want to take a shot at the closing.
Oh.
All right, we have the podcast. Make sure you guys listen to the podcast on Spotify, iTunes, and any other Google Play, any other podcast that you're listening to. We have our shows. Obviously, Tuesday night, what you're listening to and watching to right now. What Bourbon Broncos No BS? We changed it. So Bourbon Broncos No BS we have tonight. We have our Orange Weekly After Dark on Monday nights. We have our pregame show. We have our halftime hash. We have our pregame, postgame podcast. We have our...
Don't forget about Ragers.
Oh, Ragers, which hasn't happened in a little while, but
Ragers. Okay, all right. Well,
yeah, we got to check out. We got to get Ray back on and do some Ragers because he's been actually winning some money in a losing season. So we got that going for us. So hey, make sure you guys subscribe to us on Instagram, to us on YouTube, to us on MySpace, to us on Spotify and iTunes, and make sure you guys are subscribing to us because we are giving you the best Broncos content year in and year out, whether we win or not, because that's what we're here for. Orange Weekly.
You put MySpace in there, but you forgot Facebook and Twitter.
Look, it's his first try.
Two major platforms.
Yeah, forgot.
He
both
tried.
Of our major platforms, but you definitely put MySpace in there, which nobody's been on since 2010.
Except for Tom. Tom's always there.
Who's there?
Tom. You know, your first friend?
No, I don't know Tom. I've never met Tom, and quite frankly, if Tom were here, we're not. We're getting off the track here. How do we all finish this show? Is it? What do we?
Is there a button we press?
Yeah. Are we off? Is this
the button's on my side? So.
Oh gosh.
I guess I'm in control. No, okay. Yeah. Jared, I think you're going to take over the spiel from now on. So I appreciate it.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I think you could use a little more practice, so maybe we could talk about that in the post show too.
Okay, yeah, but the post show wrap up.
Cool, guys.
Okay.
Well,
yeah. Anything else?
No.
No.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, how else do we end it with? Go Broncos.
Go Broncos. Take care, guys. We'll see you around.